On today's mini mower, I'm going to be showing you how I made these 3 cute little Mother's Day inspired DIYs. So to start with, to make the notebook, I just basically picked up this notebook. I think it was about 50p from Primark. I have actually already used the other side. I'll show you that in a bit. And basically what I'm going to create on this is just a sweet little kind of neck, kind of like collar area, and a little bit of a kind of a bow, just so it looks sweet and feminine, and it's not too fussy, not too difficult to do. You could use a paper doily to do this, but instead I just cut out some little bits of cotton from just a piece of fabric that I no longer use, and then I just used PVA glue, which you really have to use on this because the hot glue would just dry too quick and you wouldn't be able to kind of squidge it into place. So I cut out these 2 little shapes just to create like a little bit of a, is it kind of like a mandarin collar? I'm not quite sure if that's the right word. And then I just glued them down with PVA glue, so that worked really well. And then I just used I just found some ribbon to make like a little bow, which I think is classed as like a pussy bow when it's quite a loose bow and it's just like hanging down. So after I trimmed off a few little bits, I glued on this little length of ribbon and this little bow. I used my hot glue obviously for this, and then just stuck that on. Then I felt like I just needed something else to finish it off, so I put a bit PVA glue on the ends just to stop them from fraying. And then I found some of my pearls. I've got loads of bits of jewellery, as you probably already know, that I like to recycle. So I've attached some pearls here. Now these are the pearls that are on a string already, so the pearls don't come off the string. So this worked out quite well, so it wasn't too fiddly. So I just glued that around where I've left the kind of neckline area, and then just snipped it off. Again, using hot glue for this. So that was, yeah, that's probably the quickest of these 3 DIYs to do. Because everyone needs a notebook or a notepad. And if you feel like you want to just kind of tie these down, you can just put a little PVA glue on and just attach the little bits of ribbon, just so they're not flopping around as much. So that last time I used this, I made this one for Father's Day with just some paper and some buttons, and yeah, that was a cute one. So my next DIY I'm going to show you, I'm just using these little mini canvases. Now I think these were about £6 for £1 in the pound shop. Had them a couple of years, they've been used for a few things. But for this DIY, I'm just using my tack lifter. This, I don't know how you do this without a tack lifter. You could probably use something else, but this is so much quicker. So I've just taken the canvases off. So I'm just left with the little square frames. Then I want these together like this to create like a little purse that can be opened. So I'm getting some of my card. Had this a little while. It's, so good to use things that I've had a while, and things that aren't always particularly cheap when you don't use them much, but I've just really been making do with the things I've had in, which is just great because nothing better than a free DIY. So I just use it as a template, and then I cut out some of the card, and then I just glued on the edges. And then the corners were a little bit trickier. Just really need to make sure that it folds over and covers the little wood frame. So then just like alter the angle that it's kind of folding over at. And then sometimes there was a few little bits that were like overlapping inside the square. So then I just used a pair of scissors and just snipped them, and then just bent the area over, and then just popped a little bit of glue in there. So I've done this to both of the little square canvases, and now I just want to make a hinge to hold these 2 together. So I just cut some of this different patterned paper, or card I should say. Not sure if it's paper or card actually. So I cut a little slip of it just to glue onto the bottom. I think it was slightly too big. It would have been like overlapping, so I just trimmed a little bit off. And then for quickness, I just used my hot glue to attach this. So some things that I need to dry quick, the glue is brilliant for. Especially making videos like this, I don't know, it would just take forever if I had to use PVA glue or any type of any other glue. I mean, hot glue is just brilliant. So I just glued that on the bottom and just pushed it on, and that's the little hinge. So now my little purse opens up. So you can actually put something inside of it. I'm not sure what I would put in it, but it's just something nice and little. Maybe it's even some sweets or something. So next I wanted to make a handle for my little purse for out of beads. So I've used beads that are actually beads that are threaded on, basically this was like a little necklace. So I've cut off the end of the necklace and pulled off a few beads so that there's a little bit of string shown. And then I'm just gluing the string just to kind of seal the beads so they don't come sliding off the end. So a little bit of hot glue, and that just sealed that. And then I'm just checking how much length I need of the beads. And then I've just done it again on the other section. And once I'd done this, I also glued the beads that were already that were on the remaining bit of necklace, so I could keep it for another project instead of the beads all coming off. So once I'd done this, then I just attached the handle, the bead handle, to the purse. So I just attached it to one side of the purse, like towards the middle. So it looked more or less like it was in the middle. But obviously I didn't want to attach the beads to either side on each little canvas because the purse wouldn't open. So hot glue, again, was just brilliant for this. I was going to cover over the glued area at the bottom, but there really wasn't that much glue there, so I thought it looked okay just doing it like this. So I glue both ends on. So for the final little touch on my purse, I'm just sticking some vintage stickers on. Now you can get these on my website at miniandmore.com. Now I don't have a great deal in my shop at the moment. I am working on that, but this is probably the favourite thing that I do actually sell because there's all sorts here. And I love the way that there's like a transparent background almost to the stickers, so you can hold them above where you want to put them and kind of almost see what they're going to look like first before you peel them off. So I'm going to go with this little, I don't know what this is called. It's like something you can write on, and just pop that on there because I think the green goes well with this little piece of card. And then at the top, I'm just sticking on a vintage clock. Do you know, I've always loved stickers. I can't believe this is the first DIY I'm doing where I'm putting stickers on something. So then I stuck some flowers on the top, and then I cut some tiny little roses, these little paper roses. I just snipped them down to make a clasp for the top of the purse. So I glued a stem on one side and then a stem on the other side, so then they could be twisted round and then the purse would stay shut. So for the final DIY, I'm just using some of my florist wire. This is really soft and easy to bend. So I just bent the top of it. This length I've cut is about 12 inches long, I think, but I cut quite a bit off when I twisted the bottom and cut the end bits off. So just bend it into shape, the shape of a heart, obviously, and then just bend up the bits on the bottom so they're not sticking out. You can cover them later with the little bits of ribbon. So then I'm just cutting little bits of lace, ribbon, and even twine, little bits of material, just little strips, and then just tying them one by one, going around the whole heart. It takes a little while to do this, but once the kind of most of the goals fit covered, then it looks okay. So you don't have to completely fill it. You can slide them along and kind of make a gap, but just midway, just trim down the little lengths just to make it easier to add more on. And then I just tied a big piece of ribbon around the top so this can be hung. And that's my final DIY. So I hope you've enjoyed watching my Mother's Day inspired DIYs. I haven't put mother or mum, I haven't wrote anything on them. I thought I would just leave them like this because you might not want to make them necessarily to give a mum or a mother. So my favourite's the little purse because I love the little clasp on the top that it opens and closes with. And the heart probably took the longest amount of time. Sometimes I wonder what the dog thinks when I'm making things. What do you think of this, Minnie? You could keep some little treats in this. No? I just wish I knew what she was thinking. What about the heart? You can hang that up in your bedroom. Yeah, you're going to hang that in your bedroom. Don't worry, I won't be letting her keep a hold of any of these. She's really good for not eating things she's not supposed to. She wouldn't touch this if I hadn't have given her it. This little problem's easily rectified by just giving her a treat. She loves her treats. So one treat later and I've got my heart back. She's such a little cutie. I must do a DIY on this little window ledge at the back of the kitchen. So the winds have finally settled down outside. it's just, even last night was really windy, and as you've seen in my last video, the trampoline's completely broken. There's a little bunch of daffodils here. They're looking a little bit worse for wear. And then this morning, before I got a chance to pick up the bird feeders that had blown off, I watched this rabbit trying its best to get the seeds out. It did actually end up eating the whole lot. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I shall see you on Tuesday. Bye.